Hello YouTube. Hello YouTube indeed, and welcome to another quick-fire, quick tips video. This week I want to talk to you about painting white, a colour that a lot of people really struggle with. I want to try and break down some of the mystery behind that and show you a method for doing a very easy, cool white. There are, however, variations that you can do with white where you can make it neutral or warm toned as well. And if that's something that you also want to see as a follow-up to this video, please do let me know in the comments and we can talk about that at a later date. But for now, let's head to Downcam and I'll show you my quick, easy way to paint white. Okay, let's make a start with Corax white from Citadel. Kind of my go-to white these days, just for basing and things like that. And I'm just going to thin it down and slap it on over the whole area, to be honest. 2 or 3 thin coats, probably closer to 3. And really just get it on there. Just get it on there. Make sure that each coat is, at least mostly dry before you apply the next one, otherwise you'll get tearing. We're just going to zoom through this really. There you go, base coated. Now I've elected to use an oil wash here. Again, I've said about this recently, it's just easier to dictate how much surface staining you want with an oil wash. You could do this with an acrylic wash, but you would have to repaint the flat surfaces in white. So this is just a bit quicker for me. If you don't want to use oil paints, use an acrylic wash of the same sort of colour and then just repaint the surfaces white after you've fully covered them. This is just me showing you how to mix an acrylic wash. It's just white spirit and paint. And then it just gets slapped all over the entire surface. And this is just what gives us our deep shades, essentially. Which is why I say it's absolutely fine if you want to use an acrylic wash for it. I'm just using it for deep shades. If you were doing it with an acrylic wash, you just panel line and then repaint any areas where you've got a smudge. Once that's been hair dryered, you can see it all sort of shrinks back and it makes a terrible mess. But that's not something we have to worry about because, like I said, we wanted to clean up the surfaces anyway. So now we're just going to use some white spirit and we're just going to brush plenty of that excess paint off of the surfaces. It takes a little while when you go as liberally as I did. You should probably just be a bit more conservative with the oil wash. You probably don't need to slap it all over. Kind of just trying to show you the sort of simplest method, trying to make sure that it's kind of something that anyone can do. But if you've got a bit more brush control, then maybe just panel line with that oil wash and you'll spend less time in this step here now, taking it back off of the surfaces. Once that's all cleaned up, you can see that's looking a lot neater and a lot whiter now. Now at this point we want a deep blue acrylic glaze, so I'm going to use Talassar blue and solid black and then just thin them to a glaze. It just wants to be a deep blue acrylic glaze. As you can see, it's very subtle as it goes on. It takes a fair bit to actually build up to the point where it starts to show colour. So you will need a few coats, but we're just starting from sort of halfway down the panel and just pushing up into the area of shadow. And then on the knee pad, we'll start from about halfway and push down. And you'll just see as we repeat layer after layer after layer, we eventually end up with a nice sort of bluish cold shadow, which is what we're looking for. And it does have a nice little gradient to it already, but we are going to clean that up a bit further. See the top of the foot there, I'm just putting a sort of little semicircle on there, and very straightforward. And that's how it looks once you've built up a few layers of it. You can see it transitions into that deep shade quite nicely. Then I'm coming in with a glaze made from Corax white, so again exactly the same thing, just really thin paint. And this time I'm going in the opposite direction, so I'm pushing towards the highlighted areas, or the areas that I intend to be highlighted. So in the case of the Space Marine leg, I went up with the blue to shade and I go down with the white to re-establish the blend into the midtones. And it should be noted, this isn't highlighting, it is just re-establishing midtones and cleaning up that transition. Next we want to get into some highlighting, so we're going to use Dragon White from Reaper Master Series. And with this there was a fair few bits that were sort of a little bit tricky to reach, but I'm just going to sort of roughly show you what's what with that. Just kind of edge highlighting under the knee pad there. That is not a realistic highlight, it's just a highlight that I think looks cool. You don't have to put it in, but I think it adds a lot more impact, which is why I like it. And we're just going to sort of pick some areas to place some edge highlights in. And because this is a pure white, whereas Corax white is an off-white, it will look much brighter than the Corax white, and therefore it will appear highlighted. A few bits down the bottom of the shin pad here. Around the back of the shin pad. Foot. And then again a glaze just into those, so this is just the dragon white now turned into a glaze and just used to blend into those edge highlights here and there. Not all of them. I tend to do the one on the top of the knee pad, the one on the bottom of the shin pad, and the one on the front of the foot. Those are usually the ones that I blend into. I leave the rest of them just as hard edge highlights. For me, that's just what I think looks better. And as you can see, after that very simple process, we've got nice, clean looking white armour. And like I say, you know, we've done a few things in a way that gives you some options. You can use acrylic or oils for the first shade, and exactly what colours you use is up to you, but it's a good looking workup. And there you have it, a nice quick and easy way to paint a cool toned white. As I said at the start of the video, there are neutral and warm tone variants that you can do with this, and they do look equally fantastic, but the cool tone tends to be the thing that I see most people looking for a solution to. It tends to be the one that we most commonly go to. So I thought I'd show you that first, and I'll leave it with you, the viewers. If you want to see the neutral and warm tone whites, please do let me know. We'll be back next week with more quick tips though, so until then, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.